So we are back on the character profiles again this week. We took a little break last week because, I guess you could say that entire episode was a character profile of our friend Luke.
Yeah.
But we're back with an actual character profile. This week, I thought it'd be cool for this week and for the next few weeks to discuss some characters we might see coming up in any potential sequels to the Batman. So I thought it was only natural to start with Dick Grayson, the original Robin, Nightwing. So just talk about some of him. I know a lot of people know him at this point, but there's a couple of interesting things on here. So Dick Grayson is the original Robin. He is the original Boy Wonder, part of the dynamic duo. He first debuted in 1940.
Jeez.
Yeah, within a year of Batman, they decided the man was too dark and gritty, and that he needed a youthful sidekick.
Of course.
And when he was first introduced, he was 8 years old.
Now, I know there's some rule on child labour law.
Yeah. But not only has he been Robin, he was also Nightwing, and while being Robin and also being Nightwing, he became the leader of the Teen Titans, which has included characters like Cyborg, who's now a Justice League member, Raven, Starfire, lots of characters like that. Beast Boy.
Boy.
So when he originally became Nightwing was when the character was just becoming an adult. They'd had a fight with the Joker that had gone nearly very badly for Dick. And Batman, out of fear, kind of retired him. Which led to quite a big argument, and he then said, well, F you, then I'm going to go do my own thing. And he almost did give up crime fighting for a little while, but then he decided he was going to go and be his own hero in his own right and get out of the shadow of Batman. And after talking to Superman, who thinks very highly of Dick Grayson, now this is where sometimes the story changes slightly, just so we're clear. But the original story was Superman told him about some legends of heroes on Krypton, about how there was this guy, a vigilante, similar to Batman, who no one knew their name. They worked through the shadows and they helped people. And he was only ever known as Nightwing. And Superman asked him if he would use that name. So Superman gave Dick the title of Nightwing based on an old Kryptonian legend.
That's cool.
And Dick has also on 2 occasions been the Batman. Never for very long, and only when everyone thought Bruce was dead. But he has been the Batman on 2 brief occasions. Both of them have darkened the character up a little bit. He's not been able to hold on to that same witty, very charming, personable, almost Spider-Man-esque energy as hard afterwards. It has darkened the character a little bit, but Dick Grayson is still Dick Grayson. He is an absolute expert fighter. He's been trained from Batman since the age of 8 years old. He is just as good a physical threat as Batman is. Because he's been doing it. He's been doing it as long as Batman, but since he was younger. The kid is an absolute weapon. Yeah,
bred to be a weapon.
Exactly. And he's an even better gymnast because obviously he's part of Flying Graysons before his parents died, and he was 8 years old when they died, and he'd been a gymnast before that. In every sense of the word, he is in peak human form, peak human condition. As strong as a human is, as fast as a human is, as agile as they are, to the point where he's almost superhuman. In the sense of he's just normally for someone to be that strong, that fast, and that you only get to be one of them things in like the real world. Like Usain Bolt, yeah, he gets to be the fastest man about, but you know what? That means he isn't the strongest.
Yeah.
The fact that Dick Grayson is right at the very top across the board is bordering on superhuman, in my opinion. But as is the same with Batman, they are the top of every measurable of a human.
Yeah.
The way I tend to view Dick Grayson's character is Dick is all of the good of Batman. He is that wanting to help, refusing to let corruption sit, not wanting to kill the bad guys, just keep fighting. Nothing's ever going to stop him. You can't break his spirit. You can't break his will. He will do whatever it takes to stop people. He's all of the good of Bruce Wayne, but without that darkness of my parents died and I don't trust anyone and this and that. And I think that's how Bruce always wanted him to be. Bruce is very aware that he's a flawed person.
Yeah.
So I think he kind of saw a bit of himself in Dick when Dick's parents died and went, I can make this guy all of the good things about me and try and protect him from the bad things I've become.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we see that perfectly in Dick Grayson. And I'll talk about how the Batman's influenced the other Robins as we go through them. But I think Dick is, in my opinion at least, just if you take all the bad out of Bruce Wayne, you get left with Dick Grayson. And I don't think there's any better way to describe that. He's a very interesting character who's interacted with a lot of people in different ways. We've seen him as a sidekick, as a leader, as a co-hero, I guess. We've seen him have to take up the role of Batman, which obviously means a lot to him. We've also seen him not wanting anything to do with Batman. So I've got a comment linked down below. It is the Rebirth first volume Nightwing. This is, I believe, a bit of a dark take on him to show kind of what he's battling, but still managing to stay on the light side. I think it's one of the better starting points that you can easily find at the moment for getting into Nightwing comics. But if you don't want to start there, just do a little bit of reading on him, work out, find maybe even a mini series that he's a part of that you like the sound of, and start from there. The best place to start with a comic book is by picking it up. So you'll pick it up as you go. While I wouldn't say he's a complex character, he also doesn't give you anything. There's a lot there to enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool, Robin.
Yeah. He's the OG.
Yeah.
He's the one that, despite being a serial womanizer, everyone joked was gay. I refuse to believe he's not bisexual, but that man loves his ladies. So yeah. Any questions?
Not from me. Dick Grayson's probably the one that I know of the most.
Yeah.
Because I know that he then went on to become Nightwing. I guess it's then the ones after that, like the ones in the next few weeks, I'll probably have less knowledge on.
Yeah. I had to do less research for Dick than I will for the other guys because there's just, I mean, he's been around from the 40s. There's a lot there that has fallen through into our childhoods.
Oh yeah, he's shown up loads. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So we are going to discuss the Batman